Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really hope you're all doing okay and having a great day and an amazing week. My name is Effy and today I'm updating you on my palette pan. If you've never seen this before, this is my project pan that is running throughout the year. I have 5 eyeshadow palettes that I'm trying to use up as much as possible throughout the year, and I update you on it every 3 months. This is my second update. I've been using the palettes for 6 months and I'm going to talk you through how I've been going on with it, how I've been finding it. I will just say I've not worn a lot of makeup in the past, I'd say 2 months, because I've had exams and things like that, so I've just not been doing makeup. I've not been filming loads. Everything you've seen on my channel, if you've been watching, has pretty much all been pre-filmed, but now thankfully I am exam free, providing I pass, till the end of the year, which means that I will hopefully get a lot more use out of these palettes. If you are interested in project panning, I do have another project pan running that I will leave linked down in the description box in case you're interested. But other than that, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. It's free and puts a giant smile on my face. I put up 2 videos a week and it's all makeup content, so if that sounds like your type of thing, this is the place for you. I feel like at this point you could all say it with me, but I'm going to stop rambling and get on with the video finally. Palette number 1 is the Wilderness palette by Beautybay. This is unfortunately no longer available, but let's have a little look at it. Now, at first glance, you'd think, Effy, you haven't done anything with it. There is pan. There is pan in this shade. I will zoom you in because you need to see it. That is pan in the shade Fossil. I hit that a few weeks ago, but I feel like I only noticed it today, really. And I sort of just expanded it a little bit. But yeah, that is pan. Pan! So yeah, I'm very happy with that, although I will say I feel like it's a bit of a cop-out because this is a putty shade. So I feel like I could have hit pan a lot quicker if I just sort of smudged the shade around a little bit, and I feel like that's kind of what has happened. But I'm okay with it. I feel like it's a decent attempt. I will put up a picture on screen right now of the palette. The number on top of each shade indicates how many times I've used each shade in the past 3 months. There's not a lot of uses. There'll be a lot of zeros on that picture because I've not used it loads. But that's okay, I'm absolutely fine with not using loads of shades. I feel like this hasn't been a palette I've really focused on in the past 3 months. I feel like the palette I have focused on might be the Summer in Trapeze palette. I feel like that might have quite a bit more use. But I'm still quite happy with this. I still really enjoy this palette when I do use it. I've just not worn a lot of green eyeshadow. Like I said, not worn a lot of makeup in the past few months. And when I have, it's typically been for the office. When I've gone in, I've not done a lot of filming or anything like that. So colourful eyeshadows haven't really been used a lot. But I'm still really liking this, still really enjoying it. Oh, also, I should mention, I'm no longer weighing anything for my project pans because it doesn't interest me and it makes it more hard work for me. I'm sorry if you enjoy hearing the weights of things, but it just makes it a lot more difficult for me to do and makes it less enjoyable for me, so I'm not doing that anymore. I'm sorry. Palette number 2 is the Revolution x Tammi Tropical Carnival palette. No new pan in this, unfortunately. Those pans have been there all year. I haven't used this palette loads. Again, I'll put up a picture on screen of how many times I've used each shade. Again, a lot of shades have not been used. In fact, I don't think I've used a single shimmer shade. I haven't used any of the shimmer shades in the past 3 months. But that's fine. Like I said, I haven't been doing a lot of colourful eye makeup recently, so it's just not been reached for. Yeah, it's a shame. It really is. I wish I could just get over myself and use the palette, but I've not had time. I feel like none of the shades are really close to hitting pan. Maybe this blue down here is probably the closest, and maybe the red as well. The rest don't really have heavy dents in. I think maybe over the next 3 months I should really try with this palette. I should choose to focus on this one out of the 5 because I feel like I could do it. I could hit a pan in here if I really tried, and I will do. Palette number 3 is the I Heart Revolution Mini Chocolate Orange palette. I'm a bit confused with this palette because I've not used every shade, but the shades I have used, I've used a fair amount of times. Again, I'll put up a picture on screen showing you how many times I've used each shade. I don't think I'm close to hitting pan on anything just because I hadn't used this palette much when we started, so it wasn't dented or anything like that, and it's still not really dented now. I've not really used the shimmer shades, they just don't really excite me. But yeah, I mean, it's slowly getting used, it's getting some use. I'm pretty happy with it. At this point, I'm pretty sure I've used every shade in the palette except this yellow gold shimmer, and it just doesn't interest me. I'd look at it and just, meh, nothing, I feel nothing. But yeah, I, again, should probably try a bit harder with this one. I've sort of mentioned the issue I'm having is that in this project pan, I have 5 eyeshadow palettes that all need to be used. And then in my other project pan, I have an eyeshadow palette that I'm trying to use up, and I only have 3 months to use that one up. So for example, I've got on the ABH Modern Renaissance palette because that was in my project pan. And this has created a very similar look to what I could create with this. But because that one is only here for 3 months and this one is here for the whole year, I kind of forget about this one and use what's in my project pan, when in reality I'm just not getting any use out of these. And I have been thinking about what I'm going to do next year in terms of project panning. I think I've come up with an idea. I'll talk more about that at the end of the year. But hopefully that'll be a better system where I'll get a bit more use out of all of them. But for right now, any use is use, and I'm happy with it. Palette number 4 is the Lois Cosmetics Rose Metals palette. This palette has not been used a lot in the past 3 months. However, I will say the first 3 months of the year, I feel like this palette got a lot of use, a lot more than the other 4 did. Whereas this time round, it's had probably one of the least amounts of uses. Again, I'll put up a picture on screen. There are a lot of zeros and a lot of ones and nothing else because I've not reached for this palette a lot. I'm not really sure why. I just haven't. There's no explanation, I just haven't reached for it. But again, like I said, this is a neutral everyday palette, and I've had the Modern Renaissance. It's kind of similar colours, so I've just not really reached for this, and that's absolutely fine. Yeah, I do still really like it, I really love it. I feel like this shade has a hefty dent in it because I use this shade pretty much every time I use the palette. There's still a couple of shades in here that have never been used, or at least haven't been used in this project pan, but that's fine. I'm working through them, I'm doing the best I can, I'm happy with my progress. Again, I could probably choose to focus a bit more on this in the next 3 months, and I will. And the final palette is the BH Cosmetics Summer in Trapeze palette. It looks like this. I can't remember if this pan was here in my last update or not. Let me know down in the comments. But I have hit pan on this shade, this blue shade. This pan has been here since the start of the year, that's fine. I'm a bit disappointed that I haven't hit any pan this time round, because I'll put the numbers up on screen. I think this might be the palette I've reached for the most this quarter, because I've been reaching for the shimmers quite a bit, because I've had the Modern Renaissance palette in my other project pan and there's only 2 shimmers in there, so I like to use the shimmers in here because they're a bit different and they kind of go well with that palette. So for example, this shade here I've got on today, I'm really surprised I've not hit pan on this shade. I feel like it's so close, but not quite. Yeah, I've just been really enjoying this palette. I've been reaching for it loads, particularly the shimmers. I actually did a look the other day with like the yellows and some of the shimmers, and it looked really nice. Yeah, I've reached for this palette a fair amount of times. Again, the picture would have been up on screen. I've done quite well, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That's probably the palette I'm most happy with. Even though I haven't hit pan, I am happy that I've hit pan in the Wilderness palette. But yeah, unfortunately not a lot of pan going on here this time round, but one is more than none, and I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe if we can agree that 1 pan is enough, and I will aim for 1 more pan by my next update, and hopefully we will hit that and we can be happy with it. I'm happy with it. I'm happy that I'm getting use out of my palettes. Like I said, the system isn't quite great. This is my first year of project panning. There are a lot of kinks to work out, and I am trying to work them out, so hopefully when I do my panning next year, which I think I will do some sort of project panning next year, and hopefully I can sort of iron out a few of those wrinkles. I find eyeshadows just are quite difficult to use up, unfortunately, but I am doing my best, and I hope you're happy with my progress. 1 more pan is better than nothing. I'm really happy with it. Yeah, that's the video. That's all I have to do is tell you how many times I've used each palette. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and please hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. I'll be very happy for you to join the little family we've got going on. I will be holding a giveaway at 250 subscribers, so help me get there and you can enter the giveaway. But other than that, I will let you go. Have a great day and an amazing week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!